Good morning. I will be talking about why gun control should not be allowed. Over the years, gun control has been a huge issue between both political parties. There's been many arguments on whether guns should or should not be allowed between the people. Both political parties have their stance and they have their own beliefs. But gun control should not be allowed because it's even in our Constitution and our rights as American citizens. Which leads me to my first point, the Constitution. The right to bear arms is just such a privilege. It's the Second Amendment, and the Second Amendment reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So being able to have this amendment is just such an honor. It's history. They fought for whether small government or large government, since back way before we even knew. To carry a gun is American tradition. Many Americans, they carry a licensed gun. 37 states actually follow the Constitution. And of those 37 states, at least us as Texas, we have the right to bear arms, so that's a good thing. It's also our individual rights. The McDonald versus City of Chicago. The government should not interfere. Lawrence Hunter, he stated that the founders understood that the right to own and bear laws is as fundamental and as essential to maintaining liberty as are the rights of free speech, free press, freedom of religion, and other protections against the government. And so basically what that reads is that, people are very concerned about free speech, free press, freedom of religion. Like, that's important as well as being able to right to bear arms. It's also your preference. Some can live without owning a gun and some can live without owning a gun, and that's okay. But people should have the choice over their safety and the government should have no say in it. My second point is self-defense. The percentage of self-defense is, the people's safety at risk. The National Rifle Association recorded that guns are used for self-defense 2.5 million times a year. Good people do not go with having the mentality to want to kill someone. They go in with protecting their loved ones or protecting themselves, because it's either life or death. Also, a woman's safety. Being a woman, it's a dangerous world out there, especially walking on the streets on your own, going to the store on your own, doing things on your own. We don't have the strength of a man. So if we're walking from our office to the mall, a friend's house, etc., and we are alone, well, that's really bad for us if, God forbid, anything were to happen to us. And we have nothing to defend ourselves with if guns were controlled by the government. And I will say that as a woman, one day, when I get the right training in and everything, and I'm more well prepared, one day I will own a gun for safety reasons. And I just feel like it's the best defense for a woman who is on her own. The protection of family, like I said, going back to the person of that has a good mentality. The person's thinking it's either that person, the robber, whoever, the bad guy, or their family. Nobody wants to just kill someone, but if someone is breaking into your house, then that's maybe a step that you might have to take. Your first instinct is to protect your family no matter what the cause may be. Because at the end of the day, the police may not be fast enough to go to the place to wherever you're at. And also, most guys call bluff. Wayne Lapierre, the executive vice president of the NRA, stated, "The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun." And this makes a lot of sense reading it, because many will actually try avoiding committing the crime because they usually would just try and scare the person. But many bad guys will try to avoid shooting a guy with a good guy with a gun. My third point, more education on guns. I believe that, guns should not be taken away. However, there needs to be more education within knowing about the guns. Many people believe that the younger generations to come should learn how to use a gun properly. And I can say that my dad is a huge believer on the Second Amendment. And so since we were young, even before we were born, he always had guns in the house. And so since a young age of my sister and I, my dad would always tell us, like, he would tell us, like, do not touch the gun. And he taught us and like instilled that in our head that any gun in the house is loaded. And he taught us the right way that we do not touch a gun at all if he's not there, or at all. Harder steps definitely need to be taken. People have to understand, though, one thing that people have to understand is that it's the people that kill the people, not the gun. The gun doesn't kill you. If you just set a gun down and you tell the gun, shoot that person, the gun's not going to automatically shoot. It's the person. There should definitely be mental health screenings involved, and definitely harder gun tests in your license, just in case. I truly agree with having psychological tests and stuff going on, just to make sure like that you're actually giving a gun to a right person and the right mentality, right stability as well. Gun control should not be allowed, because bearing arms is an individual right. It's the Second Amendment. It's part of our Constitution. It's what makes America great. People need to realize that guns are not dangerous. It's the people who have the gun, which is why there should be stricter ways to receive a gun. This is America, and owning a gun is a part of the Second Amendment. It's an honor to own a gun, and it's a privilege to own a gun. Thank you.